Hi, so I thought I'd just do a quick video showing everyone how to replace a door lock actuator on an MX5 Mk3. I think that's from 2005 to 2015. Mine's a 10 just for reference. So this is your driver door actuator. You've got two rods which fit into your door lock and door handle, and they obviously operate your locks here. This is basically what drives the locking system. I had the issue where it was just basically flicking between locked and open at any point, driving, locked, stopped. So yeah, it got to the point where I couldn't lock the car, and I couldn't even turn the key in the lock. And after going to Mazda, other garages, no one had a clue. So I just basically bought a new actuator from eBay for £60 and I managed to fix the problem myself. As far as I could see when I got the new actuator, this rod here, or the wire that runs inside here, this is what drives the central locking system, and when that rod goes down, this wire bends, so you don't get like the flicking on and off here, which I did with the new actuator, so I believe it's something to do with this rod bending. But anyway, I'll show you how to replace that now. Okay, so tools you'll need: ratchet size 10mm connection, plastic flat edge tool to prise off the door card, and just a Phillips head screwdriver. So removing the door card's pretty straightforward. It's just a case of removing the screw that's in here and the screw that's just behind the black plastic cover of the door handle. And then what you want to do, I find it easier to work around the bottom of the door itself, just to release the popping studs, and I think there are 8 around the door, so you just work around and pop the door off at each point where there's a stud. So when you've pushed your door handle through, you just need to disconnect the speaker. Again, it's just 2 Phillips screws, and then the actual actuator itself, which is just underneath here, and it's just a case of gripping and pulling at the right angle. Right, so now to get into the actuator, you just need to remove each one of these silver screws, and then this black cover should just fall off. So if it's not coming off, or I think there are a few popper studs, but if it's not coming off easily, then just check that you've removed all of them, because there are quite a lot. So I'll just do that now. So I found that when I had the intermittent locking on and off, it was this mechanism here, which I think may be related to the Mattia version, the American version of the car, which has an inside lock on the door handle, somewhere around here. So when I unplugged that, it stopped the locking on and off, and didn't affect anything else. So I just left that unplugged behind the door card itself. And then it wasn't until a few months later where the locking mechanism stopped working altogether. So it was just a slow failure of the actuator. So once you've taken off all the screws, I think there was around 11, again it's just a case of unclipping all your connections. You can just use a little screwdriver to push that if necessary. And obviously you can hear that starts to affect the clicking of the car, which will stop eventually, but once you've done that, there's just a few poppers. So again, ensuring that you've taken all the screws out, just pop those away. That's everything. Yep. Oh, and then that one as well. It's not the easiest job. There we go. So you just have to set this off to the side, because it looks like you can't actually remove it fully from the vehicle. So to remove the actuator, you've got 3 screws there which will release this base unit here, which generally should come supplied with your actuator, so just make sure you've got those 4 screws, but you can always use the old ones if not. So then inside you've got your 2 rods. This bigger rod here is what drives your door handle, so if I pull on the door handle now, it lifts that rod. And then annoyingly, the second rod is actually behind this silver shield, which is a little bit dark in there, but that is the hardest bit to fit by far. So there's just one bolt in there, you can see it in certain lights, but then the central locking rod is just behind that bolt there. Now the mistake I made when removing this rod, there is a little clip up here which hooks on sideways to the rod, so it's a case of lifting this clip up and off. I made the mistake of pulling it out, and getting a replacement clip was next to impossible, and I just happened to get lucky. But if you can lift off, literally just lift it off sideways, that rod will just come straight out, and then it's just a case of repeating the process backwards to get the new one in. It is an arduous task, it's not easy. However, something like this would probably cost a couple of £100 to get done. And if you're lucky, you can find a replacement actuator online for around £60. And this car has been, or the locking system has been absolutely fine for almost a year now. So it's a job worth doing if you've got the time. Hopefully this helps someone. Good luck.